Hello, everyone. I'm John Evans, and welcome to another episode of One-on-One. Lilah Pate had her first on-screen acting role when she was just 10 years old. Years later, she landed roles in 2 streaming series that shot here in North Carolina, The Summer I Turned Pretty and Outer Banks, that one created and directed by Lilah's dad, Jonas Pate. Well, Lilah's career skyrocketed in 2025 when she got the role of Sophia in another of her father's series called The Runarounds, shot here in Wilmington, all about a band of high school musicians trying to make it big. Well, that role has led to a lot of new opportunities for Lilah and her rediscovered love for singing. Hoggard High School graduate, actor, director Lilah Pate joins us from California. Lilah, welcome to the One-on-One with John Evans podcast.
Thank you. What an introduction. That was amazing.
How has life changed for Lilah Pate since the September release of The Runarounds?
That's a phenomenal question. I think it was a really interesting time when it was released in my life because I was working so intensely, so I didn't really process it. And it's also weird. Like, I remember staying up and being in London in my bed. I was on the phone with Emmy Sabolkin, who's in the show as well. She's my best friend. And we were like reloading Amazon Prime over and over for like us to be able to watch it. And then I clicked it and I expected like the world to just suddenly change, you know? And I was like, okay, now we can watch it. That's insane. Like, are other people watching it? How do we know what's happening? What changes? And then I went back to bed because I was tired. But so I wasn't too caught up in it, which I think was a blessing because I didn't have time to fixate on how it was doing or commentary, and I try to go out of my way to avoid that type of stuff to begin with. And then only recently, to be candid, going on tour with the boys for a second was the first time I really felt the energy of the show and just the impact it's had in people's lives, which has really touched me. And just seeing all of the fans come out, and I've never had anyone make me gifts. This girl named Emily, who's so kind, made me a whale shark drawing, and it just touched my heart so much. I got a couple bracelets, I got rock god glasses. After the shows, we would go out to the barricade and like talk to a bunch of people and just hear their stories and how the show impacted them. So I think meeting fans firsthand and like seeing, you know, how the art actually touched them has been really, really cool. But yeah, it was a weird time for it to have been released, so I don't know.
How has it impacted you professionally? Has it opened a lot of doors for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think just getting a chance like that to be a series regular in a TV show nowadays is so difficult. And so that opportunity alone is the greatest blessing because, you know, you have a reel and you have something to show for yourself, and you can meet with all of these incredible people and do these other projects, and you have kind of a credit that people take seriously. So yeah, definitely I've gotten to meet so many cool people and have so many great chances, so many great auditions, so many heartbreaking losses auditions, but that's part of being an actor. But it's been such an amazing ride. I'm so happy.
Now, you were in The Summer I Turned Pretty. You were also in Outer Banks, but this was really your first leading role. When
Absolutely.
you walked on set, did you feel any extra pressure of having to carry it any more than normal?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was a very unique experience to begin with because of the way the show was put together and filming a spec pilot first, and then a year later filming the actual series. And because, you know, my family is a part of this project, and that comes with pressures on its own and expectations, and I knew the chance my dad was taking on me, and I really didn't want to disappoint him most of all because he's worked his entire life to build the career he has and to the name that he has for himself, and my performance is a reflection of him and him taking a chance on me, and I don't take that lightly. And I know there are so many incredible actors who could have done Sophia justice. And so the opportunity to have been seen and chosen for that part, I just really didn't want to disappoint anyone. I wanted to do the work and show that, look, I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep getting better. I take this really seriously. This is what I want to do with my life. I understand my privileges, and I want to work extra hard to prove that I also do deserve to be here. And but when we were filming the pilot originally, my dad called me and said, he said, "You can't be good. You have to be great. I'm putting my entire career on your performance," because he was also stressed about it, which is not my normal dynamic with my dad. My dad's my best friend, but like he was very like, this is not a joke. This is people's livelihoods depend on this. People are investing their time and energy and money into this. I believe in you. You've done the work. You're going to school for acting. You've gotten these other credits on your own, because that was really important to him that I did that first. And he wanted me to take it really seriously. And he was also stressed because the crew itself was a lot of the same crew from Outer Banks, and he didn't want me to get to set and the crew to look at him like, oh my God, look at Cass's daughter, and oh, she's not doing the thing. And he really cares about their opinions, and he cares about them like family. That's how he always is to crew. And then we had this first day, and it was super stressful because, with family, they don't have to speak for you to know how they're feeling. It's like you can energetically pick up. And I was super stressed and like, I have to be perfect. And he was super stressed, like, was everyone thinking right now on set? And then we had a long talk on the porch that night, and we just reminded each other how lucky we are to be in this position, how unbelievably blessed we are to have gotten the opportunity to work with each other, to be friends, to create art that we care about. And we need to focus on the joy of it instead of the pressure. And after that first day, it truly was an incredible experience. And we just found a certain flow and a certain language on set and certain boundaries. And the pressure kind of went away, and it just became about the art and having fun. But at the beginning, for sure, I rambled. I apologize. You have to cut me off.
I think it's great that you shared this, because you shared it a little bit when we talked during the press tour when you joined us with Marley and Kelly. You performed a lot. You just said you performed with the group in the House of Blues, and you performed with them a couple of times. Is that just fun, or is that something that Lilah might want to get into, more of the singing along with the acting?
It's a phenomenal question. I'm glad you asked. Singing was originally my first love when I was younger, and it was something that I lost confidence in. And I remember being at like a talent show and seeing this one incredible singer perform, and I just remember thinking she was put on this earth to do that. She just has one of those voices that moves you, like God put her on this earth to do that. And I thought, I have a pretty voice, I have a decent voice, but it's not like that. So there isn't space for me to do that. And so I just stopped completely. But it was always something that I would do privately. I write a lot of poetry, similar to my character. I write a lot of songs, but I just never shared them with anyone. I stopped performing. I stopped doing musicals and kind of stuck to plays. And then with doing the Runarounds, it started to open my heart more to the idea of singing, but I was still so scared to admit it was something I wanted to do, because I also take the boys super seriously. I mean, they are just true musicians. So admitting that it was something I was passionate about feels like a child being like, well, I want to do it too. Like, and they're geniuses, and you want to, like, I respect their opinions, and I wanted them to take me seriously, and I wanted to earn it. So I started opening my heart up to music again, like less than a year ago, almost a year. And I started working with these two incredible producers in Wilmington that I met because they scored my short film, and they completely made the short film. Like, the score is the first thing people mention when they watch this. They're absolutely incredible. And I took them to lunch, and I was like, would you guys ever like want to make a song together? And they're like, do you sing? And I was like, yeah. Hadn't sang in so long. And then we started working together, and I just like feel like I found my voice again. It has been the most fulfilling experience for me. And then I booked a movie a month later, which involves singing, girl group with Rebel Wilson. And so suddenly, like, it was weird. Like, I opened my heart to singing again, and then the universe was like, that aligns. And now I'm taking it very seriously, and I'm really excited to eventually release music. But right now I'm just trying to create as much great art as I can, and like what rings true to me, and try different sounds and work with different people. And but I'm super excited with the future of that for me.
Now, the Runarounds, as we said, it was number 4 at one point in time on Prime Video. The audience score 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, a lot of positive reviews, but there were a couple that I found that weren't the most positive of reviews. Mm-hmm. Now, to Lilah, have you gotten used to not everything is going to be positive? How do you deal with the not so positive reviews? Kind of just let them roll off your shoulder?
That's a great question. I think that it's something that I learned when I was a lot younger through Outer Banks. And I'm sure it's something that I'll continue to learn and reface in different ways. But I remember after Outer Banks came out, and my heart, like my family's my everything. So I remember when there'd be anything rude about Outer Banks or something, I would get like heartbroken. You know, there could be thousands of comments. This is my favorite show I've ever seen. And there'd be one mean thing. And I'd be like, you have no idea why they chose that. Or I want to like defend my dad or whatever. And I had to learn that one, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and that's like the cool thing about art. But two, like, what do I like, not associated with what other people are saying? Like sometimes even I'll watch a TV show or a movie and immediately go to TikTok or social media, and then like my opinion will be guided by what the masses' opinion is. And now I'm learning, like, I need to sit with things before I even go on social media to be like, what did I actually feel about it? How did I actually like it? What are my opinions? And the truth about the Runarounds is I think it's great. I am so proud of what we created. So anyone who says anything different, once again, they're completely entitled and valid to their opinion, but it doesn't affect me because I love it and I'm proud of it. And I think it's an important story that we told, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Okay, let's go through the cast and tell me your thoughts on how talented they are, how funny they are, kind of like a paragraph on your people, okay? And I want to start with your fellow Wilmingtonian Marlee Aliyah, who played Ruthie.
Oh, I love Marlee. I mean, talent off the charts. That girl can do anything she wants. She has the most incredible voice. If anyone should be singing, it is Marlee. She is unbelievable. She's also like the weirdest person I've ever met in the best way. She was homeschooled, and it made her awesome. She will never fail to make you laugh, and you're trying to follow her train of thought in the most interesting way. She's just an awesome person to be around, so down to earth, so talented, nothing she can't do, and she also could be a Victoria's Secret angel. So just the best person ever.
How about Kelly Perara, who plays Amanda?
Yes, Kelly's so amazing, and I'm going to say they're all amazing, just so you know, because I genuinely feel that way. Kelly is really talented and really funny. I mean, she just booked that huge role, and I'm so excited to see where her career goes, because she's just like so unassuming, like just stays to herself a little bit, but then like gives these performances that are absolutely killer and brings an amazing energy to set and can talk to you about anything, and like you can laugh with about anything. She's just a really good human.
William Lipton, Charlie, right out in front of the group, and somebody who came into this project with probably a little more acting experience than anybody else really did in the cast.
Yeah, I mean, he is incredible. Acting is a lot of who you act off of, and the fact that he's my scene partner majority of the time, lucky me. He is just so talented and such a true artist, and he cares so deeply and gives it his all. He doesn't phone anything in. He believes in the project, and I'm his number one fan. Like, if you have the opportunity to ever see him on stage, I mean, he's just a star at everything he does, and he's also my best friend, so that's pretty helpful too.
How about Axel Ellis, who plays Neil?
Axel shocked me with how good he was at acting. I remember like in the rehearsals and when the early stages when they started to form, I think we were all a little worried about Axel with the acting. We were like, I don't know. And then he comes in, nails it. And he just has such a cool, unique style and energy to him. And I mean, he is a true rock star. And he also is someone who just gives it all. I mean, seeing him on stage is like seeing someone do exactly what, like I said, they were put on this earth to do. And you just cannot help but be like a Beatles fangirl when you see him on stage.
I saw an interview you did where you called Jesse Gallagher the funniest person you've ever met.
Yeah, he is in a way that you just wouldn't expect. The things that come out of his mouth, you would just never predict. And it still catches me off guard. I was worried about him getting us all canceled. Because of how out of pocket he is. I'm kidding, but not actually. But he's just the best and will always speak his truth, and he keeps you on your toes in the best way. And he's a great artist, incredible songwriter.
Jeremy Yun, who plays Topher. He's actually a golfer, and I invited him to go golfing with me at the Muni if he ever had the chance. But what do you think of that young man?
I mean, Jer is the coolest human and the most humble human you've ever met. Like, he's just doing finance stuff and then golf, and he's so intelligent, and then he's this incredible musician, and then he's an actor, and he's like, I don't know how I got here. And it's like, dude, because you're awesome and you work super hard. And he's like the kindest human. I've never heard him say a complaint. I've never heard him say anything ill about anyone else. Like, he just is pure sunshine and gratitude and brings up the whole vibe on set.
Now, Zenday Murdoch is just, he's just a bad dude, man. He just rocks, and he gives everything on that drum kit. And every time you see him, you just wonder how he survives playing one song. He gives it everything, doesn't he?
He is, no offense to them all, him on the drums is like an alien watch. Like, it's unbelievable, his talent. Yeah. And he gives it his all. He has his Theragun before his pre-show rituals intense and after, but I don't know, like, even when I was on tour with him, just seeing him do that every night in a row, I was like, my body would be in shambles. And he is the base of every song. He keeps it all together. Everyone turns to him, everyone relies on him, and I don't think he even gets enough credit because he's back there, and sometimes I'm just like, put this spotlight on him, everyone else move. Zenday's moment. Yeah, he's the coolest. And one of my very, very, very dear friends.
Yeah, he's all over the place, all over those drums. And you could really feel his rhythm in each one of those songs. William appeared in your short film called Pine. How did that come about? Why did you want to get into the directing side?
Yeah, so I've always known that I wanted to be in front of the camera, and performing was something that always came very naturally to me, and I just knew I wanted to do it. I think I was one of those super sensitive kids who felt everything way too deeply and was like way too empathetic and could pick up on energies of everyone else around me. And so channeling that and understanding psychology and why we do what we do and how different brains work just fascinates me. So I always knew I wanted to explore that and help show those stories. And then, luckily enough, being from a filmmaking family and getting to kind of see it firsthand in a way, and being exposed to directing and storytelling always opened my mind to it, but I was never like, oh, that's exactly what I want to do. Until I went to college, I went to University of Southern California, and I studied acting, and then I took a screenwriting class, and then I ended up studying that as well there. And it was intro to screenwriting, and it completely changed my life, and I think the trajectory of my career and what I'm going to prioritize, the ability to be in control of the stories you're telling. One, as an actor, so much of it is waiting, and so much is out of your control. And there are so many talented, beautiful people in the world, and you just have no idea if it's going to be something that you're going to be able to do and actually sustain, yourself. So when I started writing, it was the first time I felt like I had any agency over my own career, and I didn't have to wait on anyone else's time, and I could do it myself. And it just became this thing that I just fell in love with. And then I also wanted to write the roles that were my dream roles, as well as tell stories that I'm passionate about. And then the directing kind of fell hand in hand. And Greta Gerwig is my end-all be-all idol. So her transition from being an actor to, writing and directing her own stuff and then starring in her own stuff and everything that she's accomplished, and her movies are my favorite movies. So she's been the greatest inspiration in that way. And now I feel like I found my deeper purpose. I'll always love to act and I'll always pursue that, but long term I really see myself being in control of the stories that I'm telling.
How did it change you as an actor, though, being on the other side and seeing what a director has to go through? One,
just anytime you do a job that is not normally yours, you have such a deeper appreciation and understanding for other people, because it's so easy to get caught up in just what you're doing, and you forget just how hard the crew is working and how much goes in before an actor gets there and how much happens after an actor leaves. I've never worked harder than on that, because I could not sleep. My brain was going, especially I was props, I was hair and makeup, I was crafty, I was everything. I was my own AD, on a short film. So my brain was like constantly, I was like, Dad, I don't know how you get any sleep. I have so many thoughts. They will not stop. Everything is a question in my brain. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to keep track of everything. But I loved that feeling. And it just gave me a deeper understanding. It gave me a greater understanding of camera awareness. I think the DP you have on a project, I really learned how crucial that is. And I was lucky enough to have the best DP ever, Brad Walker, from Lighthouse Films in Wilmington, North Carolina. And he helped my vision come to life. And, I had a lot of ideas for really complicated shots without really being aware of the fact that we had a 13-person crew. And I was like, nope, this is my vision. I want to do it. And he didn't, a lot of people could have been like, all right, we're not going to do that. We're going to do the basic shots. Like, that's impossible. But he and I got so creative in how to pull off these shots where we're like passing the camera between 4 people on a ladder, like trying to stabilize it. But it's like doing all of these fun things. And I think the DIY aspect of it really helped it come together. And just understanding a story more holistically. There's so many elements that I think helped me as an actor long term.
When will the public be able to see Pine? I know it premiered at the Sun Valley Film Festival, also showed here in Wilmington at the Cucalores Film Festival, one of the best in the world. But when will the public be able to see it?
It's a great question. It's still in the festival run at the moment, so there's a few more that I applied to that I'm waiting to hear back from. But I really do want the public to see it, so my plan is to eventually post it on YouTube and social media because it's a piece of work that I'm really proud of. And so I don't know when that will happen. I'm assuming in the next few months. I'm really excited for people to see it. I think it really resonates with me, and if you've ever had a connection that has walked out of your life and you felt like there were so many words unsaid and so many almost times you called them and 2 people pretending not to care about each other and living their own lives, but if they had one honest conversation, they probably would still be together. I think that rings true for a lot of people, and how we let our egos and miscommunication get in the way of a true connection. So I definitely want people to see it, and people will see it. I just don't know when exactly yet, but I'm excited for it in the future.
Talk to me about Girl Group, your next project with Rebel Wilson.
I mean, that was the craziest experience ever. I remember getting the audition, and it was like a Pitch Perfect spinoff vibe, and I was like, okay, so I will do anything for this. And I did my audition, and it was like an audition. I love Rebel Wilson because in the audition it was like very improv heavy. Like it was like we had to submit our special talents, and I like hula hooped in the audition. I can tie shoes really, really fast. I like to color and draw, so I showed my little drawings. I did the worm for them. I was like, you asked for special talents, like I'm whipping them all out. And then we had callbacks in LA at the Live Nation offices, and they brought back like 50 girls for 6 parts. And we had a dance audition with Chris Scott, this incredible choreographer. He choreographed Wicked, like it's literally amazing. And Casey Rice, this incredible dancer, like she was the one like really teaching us. And then we performed in groups of 5, and then we had to do an improv dance as well. And like that was scary. I looked around at like all these girls I know, I'm aware of, I'm fans of them, I've seen them. They're like talented, trained, incredible dancers. And I was like, so I will not be winning on technique. Let's go for personality. And that's what I tried to do. So, and then we had to do our singing audition, and I thought like I chose a really niche song, like because they were like a pop song, and you go in, it's like all the producers and Rebel and everyone at Live Nation, and you go into this room and you give your music to, it was very like Broadway auditions, and then I think I chose The Climb, by the way, which is like before it was like really, I chose The Climb in the Runarounds. It's a very iconic moment in the Runarounds, and that was my idea, claiming it right now. I love that song. I love Miley Cyrus. So I chose to do The Climb. It's a really special place in my heart. And I'm like, this is genius. I'm like listening through the walls, and I just hear like 15 girls do The Climb. And I was like, what are the odds of this? Like, why did everyone choose this song? And they all just have the best vocals I've ever heard. So I was a little bit like, dang. And then I got through that, and then it was our in-person auditions with just Rebel, the casting director, Rich Delia, and the producer, and so it was very intimate, and I just improv'd and gave it my all. And then there's actually 2 days of in-person auditions but I had to fly. I had to take a red eye that night to New York to go to press for the Runarounds, where we did like a multi-title press shoot with all Amazon shows, which was so fun. And I wasn't even supposed to be able to go to one day of the callbacks because I had missed a day of press, but I was like, I have to, Amazon, please, this movie, I need it. But then I was like, oh God, I can't be there for 2 days. There's no chance. And then I booked it. And then we were in LA for a bit doing dance prep, which was crazy boot camp. And then went to London and made this awesome movie that I'm really proud of. I have no idea how I am in it because I had so much fun. I feel good about it. I gave it my all, but you never know. I've not seen anything, but it was really cool, and I'm excited about it.
Did you have more confidence for that after doing the Runarounds? After after anchoring that cast for the better part of however long it took you to shoot it?
Yeah, I think that every time you do something, you feel more confident in yourself, which is why it's important to just get reps in. And booking Girl Group really meant a lot to me because, you know, I'm choosing to do the arts with my life, which can be a very scary thing. And I've booked things that have nothing to do with my family, but not large parts in those things before. And I think a part of me deep down wondered, like, can you do it? Are you good enough? You know, and I know I want to be, and I'm going to continue to work to get better and better and really try. And I believe in myself. But I really wanted to book a big part in something really cool that had nothing to do with my family, that they didn't know anyone, and simply based off my talent and my work ethic and me as a person. And I really wanted to do it before the Runarounds came out because, like you said, once a show comes out, it is easier. And I know it was a very unfair goal to put on myself, but when I did book this before the show came out and a movie at this scale, it was a really emotional moment for me because it kind of solidified like I am on the right path with my life, and other people are validating that other than, you know, the people that can't help but love me. So it was awesome.
You're all of 22 years old now, right?
Yes.
What goals do you have at such a young age? Something you want to do, somebody you want to work with?
I have so many goals, but I think for a minute I started to get really stressed about accomplishing things and the need to do it at an early age. And, you know, you go on your phone and you see everyone accomplishing things, and it seems like they're like 12 and they're like doing everything in life, and you constantly feel behind, and it's a weird career. And recently I've really gone away from that because every day I wake up right now, I'm getting to make art that I love and I'm passionate about. And I'm really proud of it, and I get to support myself, and like that is the end goal in a way. Like, yes, I have different stories that I want to tell, and I have incredible directors, writers, actors that I would truly die to work with, and I have singing aspirations, and I have a business, and I really want to get involved in some philanthropy that I'm very passionate about with women's reproductive health. Like, I have so many different goals for my life, and I want to have a family one day, and, you know, I want to continue to be close to my family and my friends, and I want to travel the world and all of these things. But it's more like that internal fulfillment. Like, I'm not waiting to accomplish anything to feel good about myself or to be happy, if that makes sense. It's like still having goals to drive me, but also being content on a day-to-day basis with the work that I'm doing.
Lilah Pate, actor, director, Hoggard High School graduate, Wilmingtonian. We're going to put that on her resume as well. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. We wish you all the best. And make sure you let us know when Pine is available for the public to see. And thank you for being on the One-on-One with John Evans podcast.
Yay, thank you for your time. This was so fun, truly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
A big thank you to Lilah Pate for joining us for this podcast episode. If you want to follow her, she's all over social media, especially Instagram and TikTok. And keep an eye out for the short film she directed. It's called Pine, and hopefully it's going to be released sometime in 2026 when we all can see it. And also keep an eye out for that project she's in with Rebel Wilson called Girl Group. And now, before we go, I'd like to ask you a favor. Please follow or subscribe to the One-on-One with John Evans podcast on whatever app you use to listen to your favorite shows. And if you'd like to see a video version of this interview with Lilah Pate, just head on over to my YouTube channel. It's John Evans TV. I'm John Evans. Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of One on One.